It was a monsoon night. Arav and Tanya got off the school bus and started walking home through an old shortcut. The path passed behind a broken, abandoned mansion known as Duda Haveli. Among the kids, this place had always been a source of fear. The air was heavy with moisture, and the sound of crickets echoed along the road. Suddenly, Arav stopped walking. "Did you see that?" he asked nervously. Tanya turned to look. In the bushes lay an old, broken toy. It had a wooden body, metal eyes, and a creepy-looking smile. The toy looked almost alive, as if someone had just been playing with it. "Don't touch it," Tanya warned, but curiosity got the better of Arav. The moment he picked up the toy, its white eyes began to glow faintly, and a cold wind swept around them. That night, Arav couldn't sleep peacefully. He had kept the toy on his table, but the moment he turned off the light, the toy started turning its head on its own. Arav's breath caught in his throat. He knocked on Tanya's door. Tanya came in and began examining the toy carefully. "This isn't normal," Tanya whispered. "It feels like it's watching you." Suddenly a voice came from inside the toy. "Play with me." The voice sounded like a broken tape recorder. Arav's face turned pale. Tanya quickly stuffed the toy into a bag and zipped it shut. But as soon as they turned off the room light, the bag started moving on its own. The next day, both of them reached Duda Haveli. The door opened by itself, as if some invisible force had been waiting for them. Inside, Mrs. Dada was sitting, calm, but deeply unsettling. "You picked it up," she said in a broken, cracked voice. "Who?" Tanya asked. "The shadow toy," Mrs. Dada whispered. "That isn't a toy, it is a spirit. My son's, who locked himself inside a room and never came out." She explained that the toy was actually made from his anger, pain, and fear, a dark entity born from suffering. It feeds on a child's innocence and slowly begins to consume them completely. Arav started to realize that he had already become quieter and weaker, as if the toy was slowly draining his energy. Screams came from Arav's room. Tanya ran inside. Arav was hanging in the air, as if some invisible hand had grabbed him. The toy was standing on his bed, and dark shadows were swirling all around it. The toy spoke. "I'm not done playing." Tanya picked up the wooden toy and slammed it onto the floor. As the toy broke, the shadow burst apart and vanished into the walls. But the toy began to fix itself. The wooden pieces lifted into the air and started sticking back together. Tanya screamed, "This thing doesn't die!" Suddenly, Mrs. Dada's voice echoed. "Take it to room number 7. That's the prison." The door was sealed with heavy chains, and strange symbols were carved all over the walls. The moment they stepped inside, the atmosphere changed. The air felt thick, as if someone had been holding their breath for centuries. Suddenly, the toy jumped out of Arav's hands and leaped into a corner of the room. Its body began to change. The wood melted and turned into shadow. Its arms grew longer and its eyes glowed brighter. For the first time, Tanya saw its true form. Mrs. Dada screamed, "Aim for its heart! The real heart is inside that toy!" Tanya ran forward to grab the toy. The toy was now half broken, but it tried to protect itself. In a moment of pure tension, Arav threw the toy with all his strength against the wall. The toy cracked and shattered into 2 pieces. Suddenly, the room filled with bright light. All the shadows exploded and disappeared. The entire Haveli became silent. It was over, or so they thought. The next morning, the Haveli was completely empty. Mrs. Dada had vanished too, as if she had never existed. Arav and Tanya returned home. Arav felt normal again, just like before. But that night, while falling asleep, Arav saw a small shadow moving outside his window, and a broken voice whispered, "Play with Me,